What is going on, everyone? Just wait for a couple people to get on. Good to be back here on a Monday. And God, what a week it was. We flew out to Arizona and so much info to share with you guys now. Welcome back. It's Monday. And yeah, if you guys have a comment or want to ask a question, leave it in the comment section down below. I can get through everyone. I'm really in here just to answer Honda parts questions, any Honda knowledge, give you guys information for your builds, and yeah, let you know what's going on with some of our cars. And yeah, we had a really busy week. If you guys have followed us on social media, you can probably see by all the posts that we've been posting up. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, we come in here every Monday just to answer questions with you guys. If you have questions about my business, Axion Industries, any Honda parts related, we try to get good conversation going also in the comments between all you guys, so you can get to know each other, exchange information, maybe meet new friends that have the same passion you do. So yeah, that's why we come in here. We usually have about 20 people roughly every Monday that kind of come in here. We weren't on here last week because I was traveling actually last Monday to Arizona, and was actually working on both our project cars, our 9th gen Civic Si, and then our 11th gen Civic Sport Touring, which if you've seen some pictures in that float around the internet, you'll now see that it has the K20 C4 swap in it. Yeah, this is Michael. Or Mike, whatever one you want. But yeah, you'll see that we finally got the K20 C4 in there. Still a long way to go from getting it running, obviously. We got a lot of fab work to do with it. And it's not just a normal like bolt-in and easy swap. It can be for you guys. It's just not that's the way that we're going to go that route with our car. But yeah, if you have a question, just shoot it in the comments. I can go ahead and answer, get the conversation rolling with everyone. And we do have that video series coming up. I'm going to probably post another one tomorrow or Wednesday in the episodes of the K20 swap. So you'll get a lot more information on that if you're thinking of doing it. I hope it's going to be a Type R killer. Well, mine will be. That's for sure, since I've been banned from the Type R group. So yeah, they don't want me posting anything about it in the Type R group at all. I was warned 3 times when I posted it. They said it's not a Type R. Nobody wants to hear about it. I get it's not a Type R, but it's still some of the stuff we're doing with the engine and that a lot of people in the group could probably learn from it. And that's why we were trying to post it up in the group. But some of the Type R guys just have the biggest egos, and they don't like any competition whatsoever. So yeah, got kicked out of there. Yeah, they don't like the fact that people can probably spend 20,000 less in their car and actually have the same results. So, but like I said, the fact is 1.5 with bolt-ons and a tune on E30 will actually kill a stock Type R anyway. So yeah, I mean, our 1.5 is making 314 wheel. A Type R makes maybe 260 wheel horsepower, and doesn't even make that type of torque either as a 1.5 tuned. Obviously, when you tune them, they would kill a 1.5, but yeah. So yeah, the build was fun. I got the engine. Once we had the engine and trans sitting outside the car, it took me about 90 minutes to get it in the car. Obviously, you'll see in the video, I was just doing it at didn't have a lift. It literally was a floor jack and a trans jack, and it took me about 90 minutes tops. And that was including filming and setting up everything and getting everything lined up. So pretty easy actually to get in there. And we're still getting used to the chassis. Obviously, there's some differences from older cars that I'm used to working on. But it actually was quite a joy to actually work on the 11 gen. Lots of room in the engine bay. The way the subframe's designed, I don't know if many of you have watched our subframe episode. The front end is actually a fully removable front end, so you can actually take the engine and trans straight out the front of the car. And yeah, the subframe is really cool on these ones compared to some of the old ones where you have to take off. It bolts all the way around basically, so you have to take the entire subframe off to drop even the engine out the bottom. So it was a lot of fun. It was a busy week, especially this is the busiest time of the month, and then I've got to be spending time working on our project cars too. The 9th gen, we basically got all the powder coat done. I re-put all the new brakes, all the new suspension, new powder coat back on the 9th gen. So it's ready to go to get the Kswap put back in and get the car out here to North Carolina. We're located in North Carolina, but I also have a warehouse in Arizona that I'm slowly closing down because we were located in Arizona. But we moved the business about almost 3 months ago out here. I don't do any work for customers. We're mainly just a parts warehouse facility business. And then I just have my personal cars that I work on to bring you guys information, knowledge, test parts, that kind of stuff. I don't really want to open up a full shop for mechanics to work on customers' cars. That's just not, unfortunately, what I'm really into. I travel a lot too and run the business, so I like to just keep it more of a parts warehouse. It lets me enjoy having a life on top of running a full-time business. So it's kind of how it turned into, and I'm just going to keep it this way. So yeah, but the swap, pretty straightforward. If you have to tune in the whole series, if it's something you're going to want to do, it's going to kind of branch off into 2 avenues now from where we're at in the car. One will be our build, and which is just a complete crazy drag build type situation. The other build will though go back to if you wanted to do it at home and what you would need and that kind of stuff. What's up, Andy? Welcome back. Real quick, Andy, what manifold are you using for your turbo to go on the K20 C4? Because I ran into an issue with my Turbo Smart. Yeah, I mean, the business just basically is just taking off from shipping parts and doing killer customer service for people, and I could literally have 0 time to even be working on customers' cars or having a shop doing that and having to deal with all those guys. So it just works this way, and I like the way it's set up. So it's just going to be the way it goes. So. Okay, so just double check when you get the manifold. The V-band on there is completely different than the full race one. Mine didn't work on it, so I'm going to have to modify something. It's a different V-band, like on the, I'm trying to remember, the full race has a small little notch for it to fit into for the V-band. On the inner ring around the Turbo Smart one is a lot thicker. Now, I don't know on your turbo that you ordered how it's going to be, but I know the one I bought, the 6466, it didn't clamp on, so I got to kind of fab up something. So just be aware that that might be something you have to do, or you can just machine the little V-band a little bit. So just to let you know. I was kind of surprised when I got it. I was like, shit. Because I was trying to get a video also of the turbo bolted onto the engine, which would have been cool, but didn't work. So I'm trying to think. The PRL cell is all done. was 15% off sale. We had a ton of orders through our website. So you missed out. You missed out. PRL's killed a ton of their stock, unfortunately. So just make sure when you're ordering PRL parts, make sure whoever you're ordering from that they actually have it in stock. Because I mean, I logged into their portal one day and the next day, like they had 500 and the next day they were down to like 2 left. So a lot of sales have been happening. So, and plus it's busy tax season. You can't expect everything to be in stock. Yeah, I'm not sure. Honestly, I thought on those they would be the same type of V-band, but it's not. So I should have taken a picture and showed you. I just had so much shit to try and get done, and I was on a time crunch because obviously I couldn't extend like my flights back to the East Coast. So the main thing was just getting the engine in the car so I can get it off to fabrication while I'm out here still. So I'm probably going to end up doing, now that I've looked at the setup, probably just making my own flange and doing my own custom V-band and just selling the full race one, most likely. Now that I've looked at it, but yeah, thought I might give you a heads up just so you can really look at that and you're not scratching your head like, why is this not sitting flush? Yeah, it comes with extra V-bands if you want a custom weld, so you're good. It comes with the downpipe one, and it comes with one that'll be a flange for the turbo. So, yep. Yeah, I was super bummed, but, you know, is what it is. Yeah, so if you guys are new to the channel, welcome in. I'm Mike, the owner of Axion. Come in here every Monday at 8 o'clock East Coast just to talk parts. If you have something you order from us and you're wondering where it is, you can come in here and ask. I pretty much know every order off the top of my head. I don't know every aspect of every order all the time. Sometimes I have to look it up, but you can shoot me a question. You know, if you're got some money to burn, you're not sure what part to buy next. So just shoot a comment and then we can try and answer. Some of the guys in the group have a lot of knowledge too and love helping people out. And yeah, usually we're on here for like 30, 40 minutes. I just got back in the office today, actually. There's an option on there. You're just gonna want the regular one, most likely not the port injection. Port injection, you really only want that if you're going Motec on the Type R. There are ways to make it work, but it's not ideal. You would probably most likely just want to get the DI one. I mean, the DI is going to make you up around 560 horsepower anyways. It's if you're trying to make up, you know, in the 600-700s, you're going to want to have port injection. I've got my MHI stage turbos. They're supposedly on the water coming from Japan. So hopefully any week now is what I was told. So once they are in, I will send one of my guys that work in our shipping department down to pick them up, and they'll ship out the same day. So, yep. Yeah, I mean, you can always hit us up if you're wondering what to buy next. I like to give honest answers, not waste people's money. So always here to answer. Oh, man. But yeah, it's been a crazy March already. The numbers are fantastic and keeping it busy. Gold heat wrap works decently. I think some people overkill it, to be honest. I mean, the fact is there's ways for heat to get into stuff. So I think, you know, it's more just kind of a protective thing to stop some radiant heat getting to stuff, but it's not going to, I see people just covering their whole intake with it, and that's not really going to do anything. I mean, maybe a couple degrees. I don't know. I think some people are just overkill on some of these parts. But yeah, I mean, if you've got a turbo sitting right next to something, it's definitely good to do the gold stuff on it, so it doesn't melt anything or cause some damage to stuff. Yeah, I'm excited, man. Did you see Alex's brake setup that we did for him? I think they turned out pretty good, and they saved about 30 pounds off the car. So yeah, unfortunately, I kind of had them priced a little low, and then I guess like Willwood decided to up all their pricing again, so I got kind of screwed on the order. But I'll help you out. You know, I always will. Shipping on these brake kits is not cheap, too. I shipped an exhaust out today for some of you guys that wonder because I had a guy ask if I had some exhaust here, and I usually drop ship most of my exhaust depending on what ones they are from either manufacturer or there's different logistics warehouses that they're kept at because their deals on shipping prices are way better. But I shipped a Greddy catback today from Arizona to Florida, and that thing was $496 to ship, and I gave the guy free shipping. Insane. Yeah, people just don't get. It's funny. I always have this thing where people are like, "Oh my god, you charge, 10 bucks for shipping, 20 bucks for shipping." And then I'll see them like a year later selling the part that I sold them, wanting money for shipping because they finally figure out how much it costs to ship these things. Yeah, 27.1. I honestly have never looked closely at the 27.1 BBK. It looks nice. I have no idea the weight of it. Um, so I can't really comment. It probably adds a shitload of weight, knowing I'm sure the rotating mass might come down because it's a two piece, but I don't know how heavy the calipers are. I'm just not a fan of most of the 27.1 parts. I don't really care for the company itself, and some of the parts are they just don't, they look odd to me. I don't know, but that's my preference. Their brakes look okay. And some of the exhausts look pretty decent. Some of the parts, though, in the engine bay, I just am not a fan of, like their intake. If you're going to wrap on anything, it should probably be only the one that comes, the cold pipe that comes back into the engine bay. Wrapping one off the turbo isn't going to do anything since the turbo just creates so much heat. Oh God, yeah. There's some 27.1 fanboys out there. I just won't support them because I tried to work with them because I get hit up all the time trying to sell 27.1 parts, and they wanted me to interview for it, which was already kind of weird. And so I talked to one of the guys there, and they just kind of were like, I don't know, they just kind of had an ego and kind of like, well, we'll get back to you sometime when we're ready to bring you on if that ever happens. Like, I really don't need you guys. I'm just trying to bring you guys more business, but so yeah, but their short ram intake looks hideous. It's complete overkill and ugly, and I honestly don't think it works probably that good at all because there's so many odd elbow, like weird transitions on the pipe that just looks bizarre to me. And then um, their rear mounts are known to break in half, which I've seen several times. I think they fixed it because they copied or got it real close to the Hasbro mount and finally did aluminum instead of cast. And then their inlet pipes are cast, so they're just heat soak monsters. So you're just, the amount of heat soak off those is ridiculous, probably. But I wouldn't, they basically are a company that came from doing Miata performance parts. So what do you expect? Yeah, the intercooler actually looks decent. I think it's overkill for a 1.5. Interesting the transition though on the. I kind of like the idea of that though. What's up, Chris? I just if you like watch them online, there's just something about the people that run their marketing or whoever the people are. they just come off really cocky. So I just don't like that because I'm a pretty humble, down to earth dude, and it just doesn't fit with me. So there's only two companies that actually sell their parts. They don't want to do anything other than that, and they weren't willing to drop ship anything. So they want you to buy in bulk from them. So yeah, if I was buying mounts, it would only be Hasport, and then the PRL ones look nice too. I think the PRL ones are for people that don't want any vibration, and they complain about vibration, so that's kind of why PRL brought them out. Yeah, of course. I mean, the Lemon Show. I mean, of course he's going to fudge the numbers. He probably got free stuff from 27.1. So, I mean, they basically like, yo, give us a good review. Here's a free turbo or whatever, or 50% off. I don't know. Nobody talks about how many turbos blew on the first gen from the 27.1 1.5s on the 10th gen, like all the time. Yeah, I'm not really. I follow the Lemon Factor. I still am on the fence about that guy. Obviously, you can skew dyno numbers so easily by so many factors. Upping the tire pressure. It depends on the dyno, obviously. I can't even remember which one they use, but upping the tire pressure, pulling the straps down even tighter will fudge the numbers. There's tons of ways to do it. I mean, you could have someone there tweaking the tune and we don't know about it. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, PRL are definitely getting caught up on a lot of stuff. I mean, obviously, I get to see the numbers that are in stock because I have direct access to their full warehouse. They're pretty good. It's honestly the amount of stuff they sell now is just insane. And the Type R is really, I mean, the amount of people that buying Type R parts is just nasty. But yeah, I think, certain things they should have waited on a little bit and got caught up with. I mean, they're trying to stay relevant in the market and they want to keep bringing out new stuff. I mean, I still got a lot of love for PRL. Number one, first dealer period with PRL, way before a lot of companies jumped on. I've supported them literally from day one. So, oh, cool, yeah, I try to keep pad sports in stock all the time. Obviously, we do a lot of stuff with Brian. Probably one of the nicest dudes in the industry. Him and his wife Laura. And all the people that work over there are super, super cool dudes. So yeah, I mean, of course, I'm going to support them. I've heard people talk bad about their mounts too, and I've had them on several cars. Our Accord was the actual car that was used to make the mounts for the Accord community. And then our Civic, our Fit was like all the Kswap and L15 fit mounts. Our car was used. Our 2022 Civic has full set on it. I had those on like day one. Yeah. And yeah, I'm still trying to get Brian to look into doing a side set. If anything, if we could just get the transmission out, that would be good. I almost was just going to send you a Type R trans mount if I could and see how close it is. It would more be the passenger side would be the one that I know they definitely would have to make from scratch, but the transmission one would definitely help a lot. And if you actually look at the 1.5 on our car, I did a mount comparison to the Type R mount. It's slightly different, and you could actually just shim up with a couple shims. Not that you want to do it, but I'm saying you could add some material there and the mount would work perfect. So I definitely think on yours, the only one I want to see is actually the 3-bolt pattern that attaches to the chassis. pretty sure your trans would just need a type FK8 side mount. It's mainly the one that's on the frame that I need to see. It's a 3-bolt. So if you give me a picture of that, I'll let you know if they'll work. Be cool to test that out. I think it would help a ton, obviously. RV6 downpipe should be another week or so. I mean, all these companies are so backed up right now because of the time of year it is. So, I mean, TSP downpipes are backed up like 2-3 months. My downpipes, I can't even get them. The first batch that I've been working on them since November. Like, they're still not done. We're almost done with them. But material costs, material, flanges, everything. Yeah, shoot me some pics. I'll look over because everything's fresh in my mind. So Kswap's now just chilling back in Arizona. It's all done. Now it goes off to fabrication. So a lot of fabrication to be done, custom intercooler, end tanks, intercooler piping, turbo manifold, turbo downpipe, and wastegate dump. And then that'll be pretty much done. Need to assemble the built motor and then get the harness, clutch, gears, haul tech, and it'll be running. So hopefully by end of year. I should hopefully send the car within the next month to my guys in Arizona for fab work. So once it gets there, it's probably going to be about 2 to 5 months for them to do this work. So they're very busy. Obviously, the fab work on our 9th Gen Civic took about 18 months. That's just for the engine fab work. The cage also took another year. So it's a lot of time doing custom stuff. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's so weird with all these transmission gear companies. It's so hard getting any good deals with them. I mean, you got to be buying $30,000 to $100,000 in stock to get a decent discount. But I want to get the car further along and see if I can reach out to some of the companies that want to get involved with the car. I have possibly thought about selling our 9th Gen Civic Si. I just don't see who would buy it, to be honest, right now. I'd rather put more money and time into the 11th Gen now that we're really trying to push that platform and get the car to the track and make some 9-second quarter-mile times, hopefully. So that is the goal. But yeah, there's quite a few people in the group. If you're first time here, just shoot a comment in here if you have a question on parts. I'd love to answer. We're here every Monday, 8 o'clock East Coast. And just trying to talk about our builds. We can talk about your builds, parts. I mean, all the RV6 suspension stuff is great. I have several things on our car. I have the anti-lift front. I've got the tow arm in the back. I've got the rear camber set up in the back with Heim joints. Their stuff's amazing. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the dog box in this 11 Gen will cost about $6,000. And then I still need the twin disc. So long way to go. All right, let's get some more people in here. Yeah, I'll be posting more 11 Gen content this week and next week. The spoon collars, it depends on the chassis. I mean, they are gonna make a little bit of noise. Anytime you make anything solid, they're gonna have some noise. But yeah, they just take all the slop that the little stock bushings, have. The bushings in the stock cars they're made so they're not noisy. Because everyone would be complaining if they were, just like some of the people complain about motor mounts having vibrations. So, yep. And by the way, guys, another thing that I find really funny If you're asking about parts and you send me a picture of what's in stock and I tell you it's in stock, and then you order something completely different that's not in stock and then wonder where it is, I don't even know what to tell you at this point. I mean, some of the questions I get daily, it's like, who raised these people? Seriously. I guess you have to be in the industry and know what I'm talking about, but it's pretty insane, some of the stuff that I see online and read daily. Just trying to make the world a better place, I guess. Yeah, anytime you start firming up everything, you're going to get a lot more planted feel. You feel the car a lot more. When you actually turn the steering wheel, it actually reacts right away instead it has like a slight hesitation to it. That's why I've always loved solid motor mounts and everything solid on the car, even though it's not for everyone. I just like the feel because you feel one with the car, instead of that kind of like delayed feeling that a lot of the soft rubber bushings give a car. I'm not a big fan of a lot of spoon parts, to be quite honest. I think a lot of it is just, I would never spend $700 on a painted valve cover just because it says spoon on it. I think some of the parts are just complete. They're not going to do that much for you for the price they are. We'll just say it. We'll call it that. They're the same part. The RV6 is just better. They just call them different names. But White Line don't have one for the 11th gen. It's different than the 10th gen. If you have a 10th gen Accord, it needs modified. The White Line one does. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I grew up back when that stuff was cool, but that was in the 90s. I mean, I like that Spooner doing some stuff now with the FK8 and FL5, but I mean, the way I relate like Spooner Mugen parts, it's like someone that wants a slightly sporty feel, but doesn't really want to race. Because the funny thing is that, like, if you look at the spoon car, like how many spoon parts are really on the damn car? Like, not a lot of them are racing parts. They're made for the average person to like put on their car for a slightly sportier feel. Just giving my opinion. I know people are probably going to hate it, but Yeah, technically some aren't. Yeah. I mean, a valve cover is just a painted OEM valve cover. I mean, we sell ours for like $450 and theirs are like $700. I don't know why. I don't know why it costs more for spoon paint. Yeah, it's just a gimmick that a lot of people buy into the name and that, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, I would look at all the RV6 stuff if you're looking at making it track ready. Even the spoon car runs all the RV6 suspension parts on their car. Yeah, that's why I'm really like nothing against the FL5. I love the Type R stuff, but I really don't like what that group has. A lot of the people that drive the Type Rs have turned into, because I think they're not really Honda people. There are some, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people just bought that car because of Type R, and they're not really Honda people. There may be a guy that had a Subaru that was like, oh, I'm going to get a Type R, and then they just have like this different like ego out there. And it's funny because to me, the Integra Type S guys don't have that at all. They're totally different than the Type R guys. It's weird. But you can just watch it when you watch the group. I mean, I have a ton of Type R customers, and they're all awesome. I'm just talking about the select few people that just think they're driving like the world's, a $200,000 sports car, I mean, in the end, it's still a Civic. Yeah, I actually commented in the group that I had two Honda Accords that would gap almost 95% of the group. And they all laughed, but the problem is you guys would. Yeah, I mean, so RV6 for your car, just the front anti-lift is perfect. And I would do the rear camber and tow, and the rear sway bar is huge too. I mean, that's a good start. See how you like the car. And I mean, the problem with, I'm more into drag racing stuff. And when it comes into this suspension stuff, there's so many things as far as like tires, wheel setup, suspension subframe, sway bar, and you just have to slowly tweak to like what you feel comfortable on a racetrack set up as. So you don't want to mod too many things at once. Do like one change, go out, see how you like it. Change again, see if you like it more or if you don't. And then if you don't like it, maybe don't use that part, Yeah, I feel like the guys that actually like to race Type Rs are all cool as shit. It's the like poser guys that bought the car. And you guys can figure out who I'm talking about on the group. It's pretty obvious. But yeah, just a different type of clientele. I mean, I'm just talking on my aspect. Most of all the Type R guys I sell to are super cool and really knowledgeable. But there's just this other like 15 to 20% that I'm like, they're on like the Subi website looking for Type R parts. Yeah, it's sad because I used to want a Type R. It was like my dream car for the longest time. And when I went into the Type R group the other day and posted the FL1 with the Type R swap, I had a bunch of people that commented that said I basically built a car because I couldn't afford a Type R. And I had to laugh because the sport touring is, well, I paid, I think about 35K for mine. I paid over a little bit, but because I had almost the first one in the nation and I had to buy it for the business, obviously, because you want to kind of be the first person with it and get all this knowledge. And that's why I bought it. And, but it's just funny because people have no idea how much is tied up into that little car and say these stupid comments. Yeah, Nick is a really cool dude. Yeah, I really wish when I was in Arizona, I got to go hang out with him, actually. His car's sick. But his 60 to 130s are pretty impressive. Oh. Yeah, thanks for joining, guys. If you're in here right now, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate it. I know a couple of you have already. It just helps. We're trying to build the channel. And we got a lot of good content coming in the next 2 weeks. So you got to keep an eye on that coming in because, we show you guys the swap for one. I've already hinted shorts video on here, but we go through the whole thing up close and personal. The ECU, I'm not using this ECU, but it's the ECU that is needed is the 11th Gen SI. You do not use any Type R ECUs, electronics, parts, head, block, nothing. Use the Accord K20C4 and the SI ECU. The SI harness, you need some adapter clips that we sell, so the harness will actually work with the Accord motor. You'll need the FL5 mount kit, side mounts, FL5 intercooler, FL5 charge piping. You'll need a aftermarket turbo, aftermarket inlet pipe, and a Type R intake. and custom axles. You'll need those too. Yeah, it's not cheap, but we're going to have a swap kit available. It's going to be 95% of what you need. I'm going to have it in one big lump sum, which scares a lot of people because they see the final price, but I like it kind of being out there as to what they're going to spend. And basically all you're going to buy is the engine and trans. That's it. Most likely you're going to need a clutch too, because most engines don't come with a clutch. So I recommend one of those too. Yeah, I got to contact DSS, but we're not at that point yet. I mean, they're all good turbos. Precisions, I've seen some precisions go out. I've had precisions on my car before and had good luck with them, but they were ball bearing ones. Garrett are phenomenal. Turbo Smart, I just got my first Turbo Smart. We'll see what happens. A lot of good feedback from them. Super nice stuff. So yeah, we'll see how it goes when we actually run the Turbo Smart setup. I posted photos of it today of the turbo. And I think when you guys see what's even in my head visually on the 11th gen, you're going to be like, holy shit, this thing's cool. If you haven't seen our 11th gen, our 9th gen Civic Si, you pretty much know what you're going to be in for with our 11th gen. So yeah, I need DSS because any other ones I'm just going to break them. But yeah, I think the axles custom made for the, so like custom axles for the 11th gen are going to be about $1,000 just for the axles. And that'll probably be some kind of more stockish ones. If you want DSS, they're about $1,900. Cool. Thanks everyone for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. We've got a lot of stuff in stock. If you guys need something, contact us, email us. There's Instagram, Facebook. Go ahead and go on our site, buy some stuff, support us, support the 11th gen so I can get it done this year. I would love to be at the track running quarter mile times by next April, hopefully. That's the goal anyways. It's a long build. There's a lot of custom things that need done, and it does take quite a bit of time. So, but yeah, it should be a pretty fun little project we got going on. Yeah, so for all of you, Turbo Smart, the others are basically American-based companies. Turbo Smart is Australian. So just really liked a lot of their products. I usually go with teal wastegates and blow-off valves on all my cars. And Borg Warner is another one that I used to go with. That's on our 9th gen. Garrett, you cannot be at all. I mean, they're such great turbos. It also depends on the engine too. You know, some turbos have more turbos for certain, you know, type of displacements. The gold heat wrap, I haven't added it to my site. I can't remember who. I think a DEI are the ones that used to have the gold wrap. I'm pretty sure. I sold it a long time ago and it just nobody bought it. And now everyone wants to gold wrap everything. So maybe I'll add it to our site. Yeah, I mean, you definitely want it in a couple locations. I definitely like the PTP blankets if you're doing the turbo swap, especially on the turbo. And you need to buy, if you're doing a turbo swap on a cord, you need to buy a new, basically a new turbo heat shield because of the O2 sensor. Because it gets moved to the downpipe anyways. Market price for a K20 C4, $1,800 to $2,500. Transmission for a Type R, if it's not cracked, which a lot are, is going to be around $2,500 to $3,300. So right off the bat, I mean, you're looking over 5 grand. That's without a turbo or a clutch. I mean, it's pretty normal. I mean, trust me, if there's something wrong with it, you're going to know because it won't be making any boost. I mean, most of my cars are really loud, so I don't even notice anything like that on the cars. Oh yeah, I think just get the T3 blanket. Um, I mean, I didn't have any on my car. Um, I'm trying to think. I think the only place I put maybe some was right on the pipe where it almost touches the radiator hose. That was about it. Yeah, you need the RV6 turbo. I still have one used that nobody seems to want, so need to get rid of some of these parts so I can end up getting some more stuff for the 11 gen. What's up, Mark? Hey, I got a question, Mark. When you were trying to install, I totally thought of this the other day. When you were trying to install your Hasport kit on the Type S, did you take out the 2 existing large prongs that were in the transmission, or did you try to keep those in? I'm looking forward to this answer because I think I know what happened. And once again, guys, this is one thing I like to talk about. I see a lot of people out there buying from companies that don't even own a Honda. Definitely stick with your performance companies. If you go on their website and you just see 190 different cars to choose from, probably don't shop with that company because they probably don't know shit about the car that you're actually putting parts on. I always say shop with a company that specializes in the car that you have. We can give so much great information, and a couple other shops, I'm not going to name names because they're a competition, specialize in Hondas, and that's what you should be going with. So that's the problem, Mark. On those parts, if you look at the bottom, it actually has a little bubble notch that's above the transmission, and it stops the mount from actually sitting flush on the transmission. So you actually have to remove, I didn't realize you kept them in. You have to remove both of those and use the bolts that are supplied. That's what happened. But yeah, I guess you're fine now since you kind of modified the mount. So either way, it doesn't matter now. But yeah, it's because when I was looking on the Type R Trans, there is a slight little bubble notch that's on there that stops the mount from going straight down, which I'm surprised Hasport didn't actually just. But I mean, they have you take that out and basically use the bolt on there. I didn't know that's where you actually got hung up with the mount from fitting correctly. Crazy, crazy. Well, now you know. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to get out of here in about 5 minutes. Let's try and wrap it up. If you have questions, let me try and get to them real quick. Before I get off of here, we're back here next Monday, obviously. So just tune in, 8 o'clock, same channel. Try and come live every Monday so I can answer questions for you guys. Luckily, this week we had a lot to talk about. Keep an eye out. There's more videos going online this week, so definitely give them a like. Try and share them up online. I would like to try and get these videos with a lot more views. It's kind of funny. I look at people putting on like the weirdest parts and they get like 160,000 views. And then I do a really in-depth video and it gets like 200. So definitely try and help us out and share some stuff or like and watch the videos in full if you can. Or if you want, just tune into our channel, leave it running for the night while you're off doing other stuff. That's always good. But yeah, think of questions for next week. If you have anything, any parts, obviously, hit me up on Instagram or Facebook if you need to know anything or want to check on parts. Maybe I can give you a discount depending on the company. All depends, but I like to at least earn your guys' business and let you know why a lot of people shop with Axion. So, and if you bought parts from us, then leave a review online because I'm trying to get all my reviews back from changing to Shopify because they didn't port over. So starting from scratch again sucks. So we've started getting a lot of reviews, which has been great. So it's pretty cool. All right. Well, next Monday, we'll be back here at 8 o'clock. Make sure to check out more videos. Till next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Later.